week I talked to Stephane Vigroux, who was a direct student of David Belle and one of the initial few that started spreading parkour. In this 3-part interview, we don't go too far, only touching the tip of the iceberg, with subjects going from his learning process with the original traceurs to his adventurous life establishing parkour around the world, to his training with movement expert Ido Portal. It was an honor to speak again to someone that is truly passionate, not just about the movement, but the life that is parkour. This is Stephane Vigroux, and this is Word of Movement.
Yeah, it's true. And it's not really that fun if you only do parkour for the physical side of it, because let's be honest, any person can do the skills, with some learning, less learning, more learning, but to really understand it or feel it, live it, it's so much different, and it's so much more rewarding to actually feel parkour rather than doing parkour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's why, but it can also be hard to grasp, because a lot of people speak about the philosophy, and then because I guess a lot of people kind of know deep down there is more, but that's what my course is aiming to provide, is some sort of practical drills or practical discussion that highlight the fact that yes, it's a mind and body discipline, and yes, there's a philosophy, and yes, it helps you for your everyday life because of this and those points. So we don't just talk about it, we actually through practical drills explore those different concepts. It's a philosophy of life. Yes, how? It's it helps you to be a better person. How? Yeah. And let's practice it. So it highlights those topics, but it also provides a practical just elements and drills to actually, okay, when I do that, that's actually benefit my person in that sense. So we are more clear on those themes, because I noticed that today, nowadays, a lot of people, they misuse the philosophy, and they misuse a lot of those philosophical part of parkour without really understanding or applying it, So I just have been trying to be more concrete and more practical about it.
What you were saying now was making sense, especially because that was kind of my next question, which was, what do you think of parkour right now? I think there's a lot of people that do parkour or look at parkour as like candy. It's sweet, it's nice. You just eat it very fast, and then you shit it. That's done.
Yeah.
And I think it's wrong. It takes time to prepare, it takes time to season, it takes time to eat, takes time to digest, and people are not doing this, especially the younger generations, because everything is so fast now. They don't want to wait for anything. They're not patient, but that's my point of view. What's yours?
Well, I think, I don't like to speak about right or wrong, but I like to speak about what I defend, what I, what I believe is good, obviously parkour is growing so far that, it gets diluted on the way. That's just nature of things. But I guess the reason being, if you don't have access to knowledge the way I've been very lucky and fortunate to train with the founders and have a taste of the beginning, and I'm very fortunate for that. But if you haven't had a chance to, hang a little bit with those guys, or like you have an experience with Jan someday, or come to Rendezvous and meet people with a bit more, experience and knowledge. If you don't do that, then obviously all you're left with is YouTube, and then you go out there and you try to replicate what you see on YouTube. So, of course, the result of that is just going to be very limited,
Yeah.
So I don't think it's right or wrong. I just think it's very, very limited. A lot of the parkour that you can see available right now, it's an aesthetic practice based on performance, and then performance, just doing things, doing jumps, and then doing a little bit further, a little bit bigger. It's very, very physical. But also, you have a lot of people who get organized and then do their research and then try to understand more and then share more, and then they believe there is more in parkour than just that. And then you have also, it's true that the problem is that those people with that very limited side of parkour, they just speak very loud on social medias.
Yes.
And then it's very, very loud. But actually, you have a lot of good organization. I'm in the US now, in Boulder, Colorado. Really good people. I was in Copenhagen last week. Amazing people, an amazing community. Really, really smart, intelligent movers. So you have a lot of good organization out there. They're just probably less loud on the internet.
Yeah.
But I think their impact is very important as well, because they share good things. And when the students go to their classes, they actually have really nice experience of parkour, and then that actually affects people in a very positive way. So that's also, it does exist.
Yeah, it's true. Very nice. I think last but not least, I wanted to ask you, where do you see parkour in, let's say, 10 years? Are you going to be there? Are you not going to be there? Many people, less people, better people?
Hold on that thought. I just wanted to come back about.
Oh, sure, yeah.
The understanding of parkour nowadays. For example, coming back to Ido, before he met me, basically he was anti-parkour. Okay, he thought like parkour was for clowns. And then for silly young kids, there was no depth, no method. It was just a crazy stunts, That was his idea of it, based on what he could see on the internet. Then he met Julie Angel during a MoveNat course, I think. And then Julie said, your idea of parkour is not quite right. There is another version available, and then you should meet Stehpane when you have a chance. And then he was in Thailand, so he called me, and then one night we just sat down and we talked. And he came with his idea of like parkour sucks, he would never talk about parkour before. And then we talked, and after the talk, we were like, now I see something. I think there's a method. I like the way you talk. I like that kind of philosophy, and it gets me very curious. So I'm going to come back in 2 months, and we're going to train together and experience something. And then after the experience, he started to talk about parkour. Started to implement some of the parkour exercises in his own method. Exactly. Now you can see people walking on rails, doing jumps, doing vaults, doing precision jumps. So he definitely saw the value, and because he saw it presented in the method in a different way that made more sense. So now it's part of his. So again, just to come back to the point that a lot of people have this misunderstanding of what parkour is, and the reason being because the right knowledge is not available, unless you have like Ido, he was there, he called me and we met, or like you now, I'm taking the time to talk, exactly. Or you going to a rendezvous. If you don't do that, effort, then you're left with very little information.
Yes, it's true, very true. And I hope that things like, for instance, this video or more workshops like the ones you're giving now because you're on tour now, and I hope that the knowledge doesn't get filtered too much, because then it just loses purpose. I think that you guys, the old school guys, the beginners and the developers should always be there, regardless of the shit that sometimes the new kids do. You guys should always be there, because there will always be a group that will always go to the source. And I think that's the most valuable thing,
Yeah, well, it's good to know. And, that's also why I keep doing what I'm doing, because I receive a lot of messages, every day, emails, Facebook, from people, who encourage me to continue. And then they receive the knowledge, and they want more. And so now I can see there's a demand for it. There's a value in those kind of reflections and teachings. Yeah. So I'm more and more in a role of sharing that now, and then making sure it's available. As long as we're here on the planet, because someday we won't be there,
It's true.
anymore. Like me and the Yamak and all those guys.
Exactly.
So hopefully we give as much as possible before
Yeah.
before we go.
All right. So yeah, let's go to the last question then.
Yeah.
Parkour in 10 years. What's it gonna be?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to know, really. Yeah, I mean, who cares?
It's better not to know. It's better not to know.
Who cares? What I know is that when it started, we never thought it would be that big, you know. Any of the founders, you know, had in mind, okay, someday we're gonna create a sport, it's gonna be called this, and then yeah, it's gonna be a career job or whatever. And you'll have thousands of practitioners in the world. So it's already way beyond what those guys, you know, could ever imagine before.
Yeah.
When I started, it was just very few people as well. And I never thought about it being my job, it being, you know, me teaching it or whatever. It was just a passion. It was a quest. And I followed it blindly, you know, eyes closed, with a lot of passion. And then I look back and wow, all of this happened. But it was, it was a journey, you know. We never planned all this. So I don't want to plan, you know, what would be the next 10 years. If I had one hope, it would be more people who would practice parkour, have a chance to experience parkour with a bit more of depth, and then so it can benefit them. If it benefits them and they understand parkour, then it's most likely that those people, you know, will have a chance to share it with others. So basically, yeah, my point is that I would like, I wish that more people can benefit from it, so they can, you know, just be a better person, and then they can expand that to their friends, their family, and make this world a better place somehow. Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. Really, it's not parkour. It's a drop in the ocean.
Yeah. Very good, man. Listen, Stephane, thank you so much for accepting my invitation. I hope to speak to you again. There's plenty more to talk about. We can go in depth with many things, but I think we serve the purpose right now. I think we have valuable information here, and I hope that the people that are watching also will enjoy this. So I wanted to thank you very much. It was a very good conversation, man.
Well, thanks to you. Thanks for having me. And yeah, of course, I hope, you know, some of it will, you know, be beneficial for other people.
All right, man. Thanks.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to thumbs up. Also share it with as many people as possible so everybody knows what's going on. And of course, subscribe to stay tuned for another episode of Word of Movement.